I want to start off today talking about a visual. So I want you all to think silently to yourselves just as to why Gap would use two different tags on their clothing. So if you're still stumped, like I was before I did all this research, the one on the right is actually made specifically for factory outlet stores, while the one on the left, the white tag, is made for the retail store. So this shows that outlet stores actually use their own different line of production separate from the retail stores, and then they're usually deceiving customers into thinking that the clothes that they're getting is actually overstock from the retail store. According to a survey published by Statistica in 2017 titled Share of U.S. Consumers Who Buy Clothes in Outlet Stores, it has shown that 41% of people say that they occasionally buy clothes in outlet stores, while 90% say that they regularly do. So there's a good chance you, or someone you know, owns clothes from a factory store. I know personally I do. I am absolutely fascinated with the fashion industry, and I'm excited to share with you all of the research that I've compiled on outlet stores, and I hope to inform you to make better decisions when it comes to buying your clothing. I found that outlet stores deceive their customers into thinking that they sell overstock, when in actuality, they use their own different production line, which comes with complications for the customers. So let's all get on the same page about what an outlet store actually is. So there's many attributes that funnel into making an outlet store what it is, which include being far from city centers and having cheaper prices. Robert Hartlian wrote in an article titled Manufacturing Outlets, Retailing's Hot Number for Women's Wear Daily, where he stated that most outlet stores are located outside the usual market area to avoid competition with stores that sell merchandise at regular prices. So some examples of this, just for like a little bit of a visual, would be the Gilroy Premium Outlets just outside of San Jose area, and then the outlets at Orange just outside of Orange County. So one of the just like these outlet malls are just big conglomerations of factory outlet stores, just a bunch of them in one place. Also, they have cheaper prices. So Maria Becchiaris wrote an article titled Never Pay Retail, published in Money, where she states that outlet stores allow consumers to buy brand names at significantly cheaper prices. I've been kind of ignoring the main thing that really categorizes outlet stores, which is that they claim to sell overstock from their retail stores or defect goods from their factory. Robert Hartlian wrote in that same article that there was a boom in outlet stores from 1985 to 1989. And at the time, they claimed that they were selling mainly overstock, which was true. However, in 2010, in the same Never Pay Retail article by Biarcas, she states that items are usually out of stock, overstock, or ex-sale stock in outlet stores. But by the time 2010 rolled around, most outlet stores actually sold from a different production line. So when they made the switch, they actually neglected to notify customers of this. It would make sense that so many outlet stores need a different line of production because of the demand that outlet stores bring. In an article written in 2016 by Melissa Mancini for CBC, she interviews a retail analyst named Maureen Atkinson, who explains that it would not make sense that so many stores have multiple clearance stores unless they had a huge problem not selling their stock. So it wouldn't make sense that there's so many outlet stores across the nation claiming that they all sell overstock when the original retail store doesn't really have a problem selling the goods in the first place, right? And companies have just flat out admitted to selling from a different production line. In an article titled Outlet Stores from Consumer Reports, published in 2006, they write that everything at the Gap, Banana Republic factory store, and Old Navy outlet was created specifically for the outlet stores. And in the same CBC article, Mancini states that spokespeople from Coach and J. Crew have also admitted to selling from a different production line. So maybe you're thinking, so what? They use a different production line. How does that really affect me as a customer? Well, the change of production comes with a different quality of clothing. And it also comes with a misleading markdown for consumers. First of all, the quality decreases. In the same CBC article, Mancini states that the clothing is largely made just to be sold cheaper than the retail version. So the company is going to cut corners in manufacturing the product. Also, Consumer Reports stated that in a head-to-head comparison of similar goods, our experts concluded that outlet versions were sometimes a tad lower quality than regular retail. The manufacturer might substitute cotton for cashmere and wool or use a lower thread count. Also, in CBC, they published this photo of 2 Coach bags. One of them was made for the outlet, and then one of them is the original retail version. So as you can see, they use a different dye. There's a different, the outlet version neglects to use an outside pocket, and it is also a different version of leather. So not only is it a different production line, but the quality is decreasing in the outlet store version. Now, this is all very important for the consumer because when you walk into an outlet store, you may see that you're getting this great markdown on your product when in actuality the product was never intended to be sold at the retail price that they say they're marking it down from. The AP Litigator published an article titled False Advertising 2014 where they state that there were several class action lawsuits against major retailers like Levi's, Michael Kors, Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom, Ralph Lauren, Saks, and The Gap. They state that consumers were misled by the fact that the products they purchased at outlet stores were steeply discounted from the suggested retail price, when in actuality those products were never intended to be sold at traditional retail stores in the first place. So when you walk into an outlet store and you see that the price was marked down greatly from the suggested retail price, it's really misleading to the consumer because the product you're looking at was never intended to be sold at the original retail price in the first place. Factory outlet stores have changed over time, leading to an increase in demand that has forced many companies to create their own supply chain. This different supply chain brings about different quality of clothing. And although most stores have these new supply chains, there are a few that still adhere to the previous idea that they should sell overstock. However, they're few and far in between. If top quality is important to you, you may want to keep shopping. But if it's style or the look that's key, quality may be of a lower priority, and that's okay too. I just hope that you will take this new knowledge and use it to better inform your decisions when purchasing clothing in the future.